All right, this episode is going to be all about making an object that I can shoot or throw or hurl through the air and destroy other enemies. So I'm going to make it really goofy. I made a purple cat sprite. There's my purple kitty. And I'm going to click back to this screen here where it's just after I double click, or before I double click on the image 0. And you can set this up before or after you create your sprite, I believe. And this is Windows, so it's a little bit different. Normally here, these settings, file, edit, transform, image, animation, will be at the top of the window. For me, it's just at this little window here. So I'm going to click on animation, and I'm going to go to rotation sequence. I'm going to rotate it clockwise, and number of frames, it doesn't really matter all that much. I'm going to make it, 12 frames. 360 degrees is how far he's going to rotate. So 360 degrees in 12 frames. So if you can see this on your screen, you can see my goofy kitty is in different angles all throughout. So there we go. I'm going to make that kitty sprite into an object. It's going to be solid. And I have to make some events. So my sprite collides with bad guy OBJ. When it collides with bad guy OBJ, then it is going to destroy instance of self, and it's going to destroy instance of object bad guy OBJ. So the bullet disappears, the bad guy disappears. Okay, add event. Collision with my other bad guy. Same thing. Destroys instance of self and destroys instance of object bad to OBJ. One more event that I'm going to make. Add event collision with the wall. When it hits the wall, I want it to destroy itself. I don't want it to continue traveling, because if it continues traveling off of our screen, it travels indefinitely, and bullets keep adding up and traveling in space and lagging our game, or just making it shudder to a stop. So there we go. That's all set up to go. I don't need to do anything else in the bullet, I don't believe. So I'm going to click OK, and then I'm going to go to my good guy object, which is already set up for move events. Now I'm going to add event, key press, spacebar. It doesn't matter which key you use, but spacebar is usually pretty easy, especially if you're using the arrow keys like I am to move your character. So when I press the spacebar, I want it to create an instance of moving. So that's the light bulb with the red arrow. Applies to self because it creates a moving object on myself. And the object that it creates is the kitty that I did not make into a sprite. Or did I? Object 9. I didn't choose the sprite for the kitty. Whoops. There we go. There's the kitty sprite. Okay, I got to go back to my good guy. There's my good guy. Add event. Press space. Okay, back on track here. When I press the space bar, it creates moving. Applies to myself because it's created on myself. And then the object is the purple kitty, which I forgot to name. Now, let's see here. X and Y I don't need to deal with. The speed, I do want a speed. I want it pretty fast, so I'm going to set a speed of 12. I want it to travel faster than me and faster than my bad guys. Direction, I want it to go in the direction that I am facing. If you haven't set up the movement keys yet, go back and watch that tutorial. But if you've already set up the movement keys, which I have, press left, up, right, down, and no key, then all I need to do is for direction, I need to type in the good guy's name, dot direction. It has to be typed precisely, exactly, spelled correctly, everything. So my good guy is good _ OBJ, and then a period or dot, and then direction, DIRECTION. And the relative key I do want to check because that adds. Every time I press the key, it adds a bullet. Oh, but there's one other thing that I want to do. Every time I hit the key, I can leave it like this, and every time I hit the key, it'll make a bullet appear, and I can make infinite bullets appear almost instantaneously, making it like a machine gun effect. I don't want a machine gun effect. If you do, awesome, leave it. If you don't, then you need to, under the press space bar, destroy instance. applies to object kitty. Okay. It's going to destroy instance, but I want this at the top of the list. So every time I hit the spacebar, it destroys any instance of the bullet on the screen, and it creates a new one in its place. So I think I've got it all set up. Collision with the wall, collision with the bad guys. I got that all done. I'm going to hit the save button. I'm going to start my game. I'm going to move away from my bad guy that's moving, and it kills him. My spinning kitties kill the bad guy just the way I wanted to. That is the most hilarious bullet I've ever had. Oh, I still don't have collision for my good guy yet with the walls. But anyway, yes, my kitty destroys instance of itself when it hits the walls. It destroys the instance of the bad guys just the way I wanted to. And he defaults to shoot up because when there's no key pressed, my character faces up. All right, that's it. Peace out.